All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Harbor Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect.
Very particularly dependent on nutrition because this organ is 2 pounds in weight and yet it consumes 20% of circulating oxygen, glucose and other nutrients. And so, if you like, I describe the brain as a nutrient hog. It's using up 10 times more, it's 10 times more metabolically active. So where there's a shortfall in diet and where that plate contains stripped down ersatz food, then of course the brain is going to be one of the first places that's affected. And now we can see from studies that particularly depriving the developing brain in utero of nutrients is leading to lifelong health problems, mental health and physical health.
One of the problems is the scale of food processing, and many people think in terms of grains and sugars and how they have been processed. There's an interesting historical element here in that the ancient Romans knew more about grain processing than people did up until the early part of the 20th century. That knowledge had been lost for almost 2 millennia. We've caught up, and we've probably superseded what the Romans had done in terms of not just refining grains, refining sugars, refining and creating all sorts of artificial fats. And most people, unless they are very mindful of what they are eating, are basically eating in this sea of junk food. The solution is really very simple, and I can't claim credit for the idea, but it's basically going back to fresh foods, avoiding almost anything that comes in a bottle, jar, can, or box.
These processed foods bring about inflammatory conditions, and these inflammatory conditions are associated with all of the problems that we have today, including psychiatric conditions, neurological conditions, cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and so on.
And I believe that the pharmaceutical companies do see nutrient therapy and the use of supplements and the whole orthomolecular approach as being a bit of a competitor, and so that's part of it. There's also a kind of orthodoxy or a belief in the medical school training that anything that has to do with nutrition is always going to border on quackery. Matter of fact, I was told her.
All right, so we're going to stop it right there, and it's at the end, and a few key points I wanted to touch on. All these underlying diseases and health conditions that majority of the people have today, the number one cause of it is because of what they are consuming. Okay? You have what they're consuming or what they're eating that's causing all these defects in the body or in the brain, different diseases. Okay? What you're drinking, what you're breathing in. See, all these different things has an effect on your body. Okay? Well, like I said, the number one thing is food. Okay? And the big thing is, this is why the Heavenly Father as well has put a dietary law in place, okay? to protect you from these cancerous, unhealthy foods. Okay? Now, we know in our supermarkets that the more affordable things you can get is basically the worst things you can get. Okay? But a lot of we people don't have money like that, so they get the things that's more affordable, you know? But they're right about eating is different. Eating the natural foods, okay, the things that doesn't come in cans and jars and boxes and things like that. Eating the fresh foods, but he made it so hard, okay, to eat fresh and to eat healthy, okay, because these things are more expensive, okay. If you try to go on a smoothie diet and a greenery diet or whatnot, these things can get very expensive. And then since they're fresh, they go old quicker. So you got to eat it quickly. Okay, but he knows all this, okay? And he continues to stick this bull crap, especially in the areas or the neighborhoods of the so-called Black, Latino, Native Americans, their areas that they get the worst of the worst, okay? I've been to different stores and different areas, and you see the difference of what is on the store shelves, okay? Now, regardless of the fact, if you can eat better, try to eat better, but at the end of the day, the Lord said this. Let's get this. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 4, verse 13. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them, okay? So the Lord already let us know that we were going to have defiled bread. Our food is going to be defiled amongst the Gentiles and where we would dwell. All right, so when you go into this word defiled,
Strong's H2931. Tameh. Tameh.
all right, so you got things that it says unclean, impure, polluted, defiled. Okay. Now the Lord did set a difference between what is clean and unclean. Let's get that real fast too. Leviticus 11:1, because the things that a lot of you people do eat, right, that you do think is like a high value meal, all right, or something that's consider as a delicacy. Well, Esau tricked you into thinking that because these foods are actually unclean, is against the law of the Most High, and actually the worst thing that you can put into your body. It's another reason why you people have all these different diseases, okay? On top of the meat, the processing foods and the crap that he already puts in our areas, you still eat the worst of the worst out of all of that, okay? So, right, so it's Leviticus 11, verse 1, it says, and the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth, whatsoever part of the hoof and is cloven-footed and chew of the cud among the beasts that ye shall eat. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew of the cud, or them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And that the hare, I believe that's if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's something in a rabbit family, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what a coney is. Oh, this is okay. Coney was once applied to the rabbit, and it's still sometimes used in the fur business and indicate rabbit fur. Look like a squirrel, but okay. Guess it's a rabbit. So let's go into this hair. I believe this is a rabbit as well. Yep. All right. So these things are not to be eaten. And the swine. This is the pig, the pork, the chitlins, the ham hocks. you know, the pork chops. You're not supposed to eat these things. And the swine, though he divided the hoof, and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Or their flesh shall you not eat, and their carcass shall you not touch, they are unclean to you. And these shall you eat. All that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, and in the seas, and the rivers, them shall you eat. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of anything which is in the waters, they should be an abomination to you. They should be even an abomination to you. You shall not eat their flesh, but ye shall have their shall have their carcasses and abominations. You shall not eat of their flesh, but you shall have their carcasses and abomination. Whichsoever have no fins nor scales in the waters, they shall be an abomination to you. All right. So I'll give you a quick list of squid, this calamari stuff you people like to eat, shrimp, crab, lobsters, crawfish, catfish, mussels. These things are not to be eaten. Okay? But see, you people got all over your TikToks, got all over your Instagram and Facebook pages, these different meals at these buffets talking about, we eating good. This is how ballers eat. Okay, this is how a queen should eat. This is how a king, this is how we eat good. No, that is all garbage and is all unclean to you. And on top of that, even lobster goes back to, when you're going back to history, they call it what? They call it poor man's food. Okay, but E knows this, but to continue to keep people sick, and it's not even just our people. He's doing it to everybody to continue to keep people sick and keep his pharmaceutical business going, which that's a multi-billion-dollar organization, all right, maybe even trillion. To keep it going, he has to keep you people sick in the mind, in the head, and keep your body infectious or infected. Okay, Salakia. Okay, and this is the way how your body's infected. Okay, like I say, this is, oh boy, this is crazy. So it says in verse 13, and these are they which you shall have an abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination. The eagle, the ostrich, the osprey, and the vulture, and the kite after his kind, every raven after his kind, and the owl, and the night hawk, and the cuckoo, and the hawk after his kind, and the little owl, and the cormorant, and the great owl, and the swan, and the pelican, and the gyre eagle, and the stork, and the heron after her kind, and the lopping, and the bat. All fowls that creep going upon all four shall be an abomination to you. Okay? Yet these may ye eat of every flying creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which have legs upon their feet to leap withal upon the earth. Even these of them ye may eat, the locust. See? Now, you people would turn your head and look at this like there's no way I would eat this. But the Lord said you can eat this. Even these of them you may eat, the locust after his kind, and the bald locust after his kind, and the beetle after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind. But all other flying, creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you. And these shall be unclean. Whosoever touch the carcass of them shall be unclean until the evening. And whosoever beareth out the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. Okay, so this is a dietary law what the Lord have made of things that is clean and unclean to you. And the Lord is the true physician. Okay? The true physician, the true health inspector. Okay? Because he set all these things up to do their purposes. Okay? But not to go into your body. Okay? Few things that go into your body, and he made the things that not to go into your body. Right? And as people continue to eat these things, you're making yourself more sick. Now, he made a statement, which I believe I deleted my articles that I had a few back. Wow. Let's play it real quick one more time.
Being a bit of a competitor, and so that's part of it. There's also a kind of orthodoxy or a belief in the medical school training that anything that has to do with nutrition is always going to border on quackery. Matter of fact, I was told during medical school, any doctor that prescribes a vitamin, by definition, is a quack.
The
Yeah,
brain.
that's true. That was a factual statement he made because, like I said, they when they speak about nutritional health and benefits of, you know, home remedies and things of that sort, they made the push to seem that all these things of taking care of your body, of eating these things that the Lord have made, the medicines that He created of the earth, to be what? To be false, of no good. Let's get this right. But the true medicines come from the earth. But see, as E wanted to continue to promote his pharmaceutical market, his newly created medicines to be above the Lord's. Ecclesiastes 38 verse 4 says, the Lord have created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. All right. So the Lord have created the medicines out of the earth. Okay. But E says, you know what? No, we're not going by his medicines. We got our own. And this is what he uses and pushes through the medical school. Okay. So even when let's say if you take your children to the doctors and stuff, right? And you start to try to ask them about black seed oil and sea moss and elderberry, you know what they're going to try to do? They're going to try to stir you away from that and to what? Continue to push their BS, their curriculum, it's like a BS down your throat of the BS that they were taught. Okay. And try to steer you away from, health and treating your sicknesses, through the medicines that the Most High have provided, and to you to take in their crap. All right. Just a few more things and we're going to get out of here. So I wanted to touch on this. All right. Because this shit is biological warfare, man. All right. So biological warfare is also known as a germ warfare, is the use of biological toxins or infectious agents such as bacteria, viruses, and insects, and fungi with the intent to kill, harm, or incapacitate humans, animals, or plants as an act of war. Biological weapons are living organisms or replicating entities, all right? And this is what Esau has done through the food, okay? Through the food, through the air, through the water. All right, even its technology, even how good you might think it is, this shit is still like, it's still killing you. Okay. So biohazard. So I typed in bio, and the good one I got is biohazard. It says organic material that carries a significant health risk. All right. So this is something that is hazard to the body and creates a significant health risk of eating this different food that E puts out here on the market. Right? Which leads me to this right here. It says, what food from the U.S. is banned in Europe? It says 11 American foods that are banned abroad and how they can impact your health. Okay. So it says Mountain Dew, Post Honey Made S'mores, Skittles, RBGH or RBST milk, M&Ms, bread products, chlorine washed chicken, instant potatoes. Look at this. U.S. eats ingredients banned in EU foods: potassium, bromate, and carbamide. This is ADA. These additives are commonly added to baked goods, but neither is required. And both are banned in Europe because they can cause cancer. Yeah, E has a lot of cancerous causing foods that he put out here and putting additives in it which don't even be needed. Right? BHA and BHT, brominated vegetable oil, which is BVO, yellow food dyes, farm animal drugs. All right? And there's a lot more if you want to go into it and look on your own. A few articles that's speaking about it. Because a lot of things that we eat here is banned in Europe. Why? Because it's bullshit. Okay? It's completely BS. It says, what foods are banned in Europe that are not banned in the United States, and what are the implications of eating those foods? The European Union prohibits or severely restricts many food additives that have been linked to cancer that are still used in American-made bread, cookies, soft drinks, and other processed foods. Europe also bars the use of several drugs that are used in farm animals in the United States. And many European countries limit the cultivation and import of genetically modified foods, as GMO. All right. In some cases, the food processing companies will reformulate a food product for sale in Europe, but continue to sell the product with the additives in the United States, said Lisa Wild-Lefferts, senior scientist at the Center for Science and the Public Interest, a food safety advocacy organization. Okay, so you see there, the point is that Europe bans a lot of these foods that are still sold on the American shelves. Okay, that are still sold on the American shelves, which is complete garbage, complete products that destroy your body. Okay, which has been already proven to destroy your body, but he keeps it on the market. Why? Because it continues to make him money. Keeping you sick helps him make you money, and a lot of people have a hard time on realizing this. Okay. Wonder if we should get it. It says, I guess we could hit a little bit more. It says in October, the FDA agreed to ban 6 artificial flavoring substances shown to cause cancer in animals, following petitions in a lawsuit filed by the Center for Science and the Public Interest and other organizations. The FDA insists the 6 artificial flavors do not pose a risk to public health, but concedes that the law requires it not to approve the food additives. Food companies will have at least 2 years to remove them from their products. Here's a short. But see, if it's dangerous, if it could cause cancer, if it can cause a significant health risk, why should you wait for 2 years to take it out your product? No, you should take it out your product immediately if you truly care for the people. You see? It says, here's a short list of some of the food additives restricted by the EU, but allowed in American foods. Most must be listed as the ingredients on the labels, though information about drugs used to increase the yield in farm animals is generally not provided. Yeah, that's why they were saying the FDA doesn't have to provide the label information, because it's BS in all of it. Okay, but you can Google this and read this article on your own. You know, it's pretty informative and just straight to the point of the things that the EU or Europe has basically banned because these things can cause a significant health risk. All right, so thought I'd touch on that through the spirit, Lord willing, hope it was edifying. Till the next time, I want to say shalom.